Welcome, everyone, especially doctors all around the nation and the world. This is Doug Grant with Holistic Professional Success Podcast. And today we have a very special podcast for you. We've been working for over 2 months to do a Blitz challenge across the nation and asking people to make changes, follow a certain program that helps them be able to reprogram their cravings and to be able to help them when previous diets and programs didn't. And we have many people from all over the nation go on this program and really make the changes. And it just changed a lot of their life. And we're excited to bring them on today, two of them, to help inspire you as doctors to promote a program of healthy eating to your patients and also inspire others in the public around the nation to be able to make the changes and feel confident because there's so many different programs out there today, but we'll get into that. So let's go ahead and get started. The program that we did was called the Fall Health Blitz Challenge. Now, we've been promoting a program called the 21-Day Blitz Challenge for years. A lot of you know that's kind of our secret weapon that we use with the professional athletes to help them make changes in that in their bodies. But we wanted a good 2 month program. So we called it the Fall Health Blitz Challenge and made it from 21 days up to these 60 days. And it really went well. So without further ado, let's get going. And I want to welcome to Holistic Professional Success today, Mark Vallejo. Welcome, Mark.
Morning.
One of the winners of the program, and also Sarah Martinez. Sarah, how are you? Good.
I'm
And
doing well,
so,
thank you.
and Sarah, you're joining us from Monterey, California. Is that correct?
It's Monterey Park, California. Yes.
Monterey Park, California. Welcome. And where are you coming from, Mark?
I'm here from Safford, Arizona.
Stafford, Arizona. So great. We appreciate you guys being with us. And especially right now in the world, there's a lot of turmoil going on, a lot of things happening. This podcast right now is being filmed while we still don't know who the next president is going to be or anything like that. And there's a lot of tension. I wanted to bring that up because even though there's a lot of unrest in the world, there's always going to be something going on. You know, right now it's the election, but there's always going to be something going on. And it's important that we focus in on the things that we can do, the things that we can change. And we started this Fall Health Blitz Challenge right in the middle of the pandemic, right in the middle of people not knowing what's going to happen next. You know, would we wear masks? Do we not? This place is shut down. You can't even go to this state because when you come back, you have to quarantine 2 weeks and a lot of craziness. But in the midst of that, we've had people like Mark and Sarah decide that they were going to take the challenge to make changes in their life, health wise, that they could control and focus on the things that they could control themselves. And so we're real excited to see what happened. And before we get to Mark and Sarah, let me give you a quick background of what this Blitz Challenge is. The Blitz Challenge is a way of eating that gets rid of the processed foods, makes changes in the body so you can reduce body fat, reduce blood sugar, reduce the depression that can happen because of certain deficiencies and stuff in the body, and to improve all overall energy, overall ability to have better longevity, the overall ability to have a reduction in the major diseases today, heart disease, diabetes, arthritis. And so it's an overall program, but it's a lifestyle. It's not some crazy eating plan that you go on where you're taking out a complete food group. And so you can't stay on it forever. And the difference with the Blitz Challenge versus all the other plans out there is over about 3.5 decades of time, we've seen the research show that the main reason that people fall off when they're trying to make healthier eating changes and stuff in their life, the main reason they fall off is because of cravings, because of things that come up and they just give in. And so the research is phenomenal on this. And it's within the last 5 years. The research shows us that if we help build the probiotics in the body, it's called the microbiome. If we build up the microbiome and create new microbiomes there, that whatever those microbiome, those friendly bacteria are raised on, the foods that they are raised on that they start to eat, they will crave those. So if we raise them on healthy foods, they crave healthy foods. You won't crave the pastries and the bad foods because that's not what they were raised on. But if we don't make a change in the microbiome and we make healthy eating changes, all of a sudden those friendly bacteria in the body say, hey, we were raised on donuts and junk food. We want that. And we get those cravings. And it's hard to be able to make it past those cravings. And that's why a lot of people fall off. But if we make a new microbiome, we give the body a bunch of these friendly bacteria fresh as you're making healthy eating changes, as you get going over the weeks, it becomes easier because your friendly bacteria crave the healthier food. And that's the basically the game changer, the thing that makes this program different is these people like Mark and Sarah have been eating healthier, they've been eating cleaner, but as a lot of you do try to make those changes, they also have the advantage of being able to re-inoculate the bowels with the friendly bacteria so that then those cravings didn't come up as hard. They still are there, but they didn't come up as hard and they were able to overcome them. So that's the basics of the program. But let's get to a couple of people that had phenomenal success. Mark, let's start with you. Thanks for being on again. Appreciate it.
Again, Doug, and thanks.
Tell us a little bit about your background so people can maybe correlate with you and be able to kind of say, hey, wow, he has a job like I'm familiar with, or so and so, and the lifestyle. Tell us a little bit about your job and your lifestyle.
Okay. Again, my name is Mark Vallejo. I'm 49, pushing 50 years old here in a months. I work in a maintenance department for Freeport McMoran Mining Company. Been in the same with the same company for 30 years now.
Wow, congratulations.
Leader out there, so I do a lot of desk time. So it's nothing to average about 2 miles a day walking at work, but the majority of my time is behind a desk. So uh, not a whole lot of physical activity out there, but it's also a very stressful job, which for me leads to a lot of binge eating and craving eating and a lot of junk food and habitually going out to lunch at certain times and not eating properly. And it's a pretty stressful kind of environment that I work in, and definitely an environment where people can get hurt quickly if they're not paying attention to what they're doing. Um, at home, we got 5 grandkids with another one on the way. So the little ones they've helped motivate me to get going because I couldn't keep up with them anymore. So now I pull them along in the mountain bike with the little trailer, or push them with the jogging stroller. And I had to incorporate them in my workout. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, that's awesome. So basically, for those of you watching this, Mark, the background really is a desk job, but a high stress one, dealing with people that if they make mistakes because they're out there with the big equipment in the mine, serious things can happen. But that environment of a lot of peer pressure, and I'm very familiar with the mining environment, and living in the small town, and that pressure of the food you eat, the things you drink, they hang around, and so you can see that pressure would be real easy to fall into that trap over the years. And so tell us real quick, Mark, what was your experience with the Blitz challenge versus other things you've done to try to make improvements?
Of course, because to me it was another, I'm not going to say gimmick, but something that, okay, well, we're going to try this one. Uh, my wife actually is the one that pushed me to do it. So I'm really grateful for her for being part of your team and pushing me along the way to get busy and do it. So at first I was pretty skeptical about it, but the hardest part was like, oh my gosh, I'm a junk food eater. I love candy. I love sweets. And all of a sudden I got this limit that I'm supposed to stick to. And I had to quit eating fried foods. And, being Hispanic, I love my Mexican food. Part of my heritage and my culture. And all of a sudden I'm stopping to eat the flour products. And so once I felt better, I was like, hey, I'm going to try and run. And maybe I ran for a couple minutes. And then before you know it, you're running 2 miles. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do a 5K now. And so just the overall health of my body and feeling so much better was what really drove me to keep doing what the program said to do, because overall, I just started feeling better. I felt like I was sleeping better, waking up better, didn't feel as stressed. Home life was better. It's just, so overall, like the change in my body um, and just feeling better encouraged me to keep going with it. Where other ones I would crash on a diet. I do it for a couple of weeks and all of a sudden I'm crashed out and I felt like I was putting on more weight and the scale became depressing, but I wasn't showing any improvement in my body structure with other diets either. And this one, I could see it like within a month. I was like, oh my gosh, something's happening here. So
That's great. So basically, for you, Mark, the difference between this and other plans was that you started seeing the results, and that kept you motivated and going, and you had more energy, losing body fat and that type of thing. And that was a big factor for you, that you saw that, and so that kept you going.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, we're going to get back to you in a minute on the actual numbers that happened with you. But for those that are watching, what Mark was talking about too is that this plan isn't where you count calories, but you do for the duration of the program. Like if you're to do the program, it's called the 21-day Blitz Challenge. For those days, you stay away from fried food. You count the amount of sugar you eat. You want to keep it under 50 grams because most people don't realize how much sugar. That's the only thing you count on the program is that. And and stay away from white flour, use more grain type wheat, those types of products, or corn, so that you can understand the importance of staying away from foods that raise your blood sugar level too fast. And there are certain things you do, you eat more vegetables, and certain things you stay away from. And what's interesting with all of the hundreds of people that were on the program, Mark, it was funny, is they're like, look, this program is only what I know I should be doing. There's nothing new here. Like, I know I should limit my fried food. I know I should limit candy and those types of things, but this helps me check off each day that that's what I'm doing. There's this crazy, oh, don't, eat any carbohydrates and just have a protein and fat. Nothing crazy like that. It's the things that you innately know you should be doing. Did that help at all? Like, it's nothing out there in the world. It's just like, you know what? I know I should be doing this. It's just nice to have the help and the guidelines.
Yeah, absolutely. And I coupled it with an app that I'm horrible at counting calories. I don't even like talking about it. It's just a struggle for me to get into that. It's like another commitment I don't need. But I coupled your program with an app that would, when I would scan the barcode on a food, it would either give me a sad face and I'd read it and I say, okay, so I shouldn't eat that. Or if I'm going to eat it, I should really be limiting what I do with it. So coupling with learning what foods can hurt you and can help you without having to worry about eat 10 grams of lettuce or whatever and count that calorie. That helped also coupled with that. So yeah, it's just a new things we knew, but we just didn't listen to.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks. Well, hey, let's bring on Sarah real quick. Sarah, thanks again for being with us. Tell us a little bit about what you do on a daily basis, so the people that are out there that can connect with you that might have similar circumstances in that, and how the plan went.
Sure. So I'm 28 years old and I work part-time for a chiropractor, so I'm his assistant. And I am also a full-time mom, but I do have my husband who he works full-time. He has his own business, so I help him with that as well. And I homeschool my daughter, so my plate is completely full. And it's just it's a constant struggle day in and day out to make sure that I'm even eating correct at all, sometimes. So there were times when literally I would just be grabbing ice cream out of the freezer and that was my food, or bread. That's all I would eat was the flour bread and a banana for breakfast. And like that's all I would have time to go and do. But anyway, we'll get into more about the challenge, I think, next question.
Yeah, well, that's neat. So basically, all the busy moms out there working part-time, full-time mom, also helping the husband, that's a great dynamic, because I think a lot of people can really, appreciate and connect with a lot of those things that you're going through. And tell us a little bit about how it went and your experience with the Blitz Challenge.
Yeah, so I actually got onto the challenge through the chiropractor that I work for, and he got me onto the challenge. Is Dr. Simmons. He's in the OHS friend list, so you probably know who he is.
Yeah.
But he got me onto the challenge, and at first, when I was excited because I had watched the initial video from you when you spoke about putting on the challenge, and I thought, wow, this is amazing. This is totally something I would love to do, but I didn't think I could commit to it. And I know this time you have to sign your signature, and just you're committing to yourself, really. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, I'm eating too much fast food. I'm eating all this candy and ice creams, and I don't know if I'll be honest with myself even that I would commit. And so I felt motivated by his by Dr. Simmons actually believing in me and putting me into this program and being like, trusting that I would do it. And so I pushed because of that. And I was like, I'll be happy at the end of it as long as I do it. Let me just try my best and see how that goes. And as I was taking the regimen and checking off the boxes each day, and I'm like, this is easier than I thought it was going to be. Just have to have a little self-control. And when it came down to the first measurements, and I saw such immediate, what is that? What was that? A week or two, or probably 2 weeks, but just huge change immediately, and that just sparked a fire in me, and I just was able to go after that, and that's how it happened.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. And it kind of comes back to like what Mark was saying too, that there isn't anything crazy with the Blitz challenge. It's about holding yourself accountable. You talked about the signature. With the program comes a signature. You don't give it to anyone. It's you signing, saying I'm committing myself, and it does have a powerful impact, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so basically going through the program, tell me what you felt was the easiest with the boxes you checked off, between white flour, carbonation, eating more vegetables, and what was the hardest for you, what you really had to focus in on to make sure you were able to do.
The flour was the hardest for me to get onto grains instead, because my children and my husband, he was supportive, but he was always bringing in the fried too, because he's always bringing in the chips. He's always bringing in the breads, and he was always bringing every day was fast food. They love In-N-Out and cookies and all of those things. So here they are on top of my fridge, and I had to say, no, I'm not going to touch those. Or one time that I remember distinctly, because he's got In-N-Out for everybody, and there I was eating a salad with some salmon on it, and it's delicious, but you smell that spread sauce and you're dying. So that was for me what it was, the flour and the fried foods.
And what was the easiest?
The carbonated beverage, because I stopped drinking soda when I was 16. So that was
So that was an easy one. And that was tough for a lot of people. So that's interesting. Well, what's interesting is that I want people to understand a little bit of what Sarah's saying here too, because getting away from white flour and fried foods, for those of you that like chips and salsa, that love burros, white flour, things like that, that's tough. But it doesn't mean you can't have those things. In our home, we go out and we find the Tostitos baked chips that are made from corn, and they're baked, or you would bake our own. Just get good corn tortillas and bake them and stuff, because we love chips and salsa, like grew up and raised on it. So it's not like you have to eliminate things, it's you make better choices of things. And there's a few things we ask to eliminate, like carbonation and that, for this time. And for the audience, it's important to point out that the 21-day challenge, or in this case, the Fall Health Blitz challenge, which is they did for 60 days, both Sarah and Mark and hundreds of people around the nation, isn't about never having these types of things, never having a soda again, never having white flour, never having that In-N-Out or whatever it might be. It's about, for a period of time, reprogramming your cravings so that when you do have those things sparingly, it doesn't change your microbiome. It doesn't change what your gut craves. You just enjoy it. Hey, it was nice. There was a birthday party the other day, and I had some cake and I enjoyed it and I loved it. It was tasted phenomenal, and I'm good to go and do life. And when you have those things once in a while, when your bio train, your inner nutrients and probiotics are correct, it's okay. Your body filters out the bad. Everything's great. It's when we eat them consistently and our body starts craving them, that's the problem. And so real quick, before I jump back to Mark and his actual results, Sarah, with you, with the cravings, did you notice something different with this program versus things you maybe tried in the past, as far as the ability to overcome cravings?
Yes, I did, because in the past, mostly my idea was, I'm just not going to buy it, or I'm just not going to, go out and get it. I'm going to have the strength mentally to control myself. And But I noticed with this program, because with then I would just go get it. Like, oh, I can't take it. I need it. It's that time of the month for us women, and I need my ice cream, you know. So, but I noticed with this program, it wasn't the case. I actually was craving like um like fruit. I mean, fruit. I wanted mangoes. I wanted watermelon and different like spaghetti squash. And I've never craved that stuff. It wasn't like, oh, let me go and get some salad, ooh, you know. But I
Yeah.
actually did. I really wanted to eat those things. Like I want one right now. Actually, I'm talking about it. it it's definitely been a huge change.
Well, thanks. And I really, really want to drive home that this is the biggest point with this program versus any other program in the market is really what Sarah just said. And that is a lot of you remember back to the Pavlov's dog that we were taught in school that the dog would start craving food that he, when they even talked about and salivating, because that's what it was it was used to us wanting. And inside our body, in our gut, we have up to 3 pounds and billions of these friendly bacteria that live with us, are supposed to be with us. It's part of who we are. And they crave food. And if they were raised on the bad food, they crave them. If they're raised on the healthy food, like in Sarah's case, we gave her 100 millions of friendly bacteria that she took during the program. So after a while, when she was eating more salads and healthier foods, and that might have been a little bit tough at first, that's what the friendly bacteria were raised on. That's what it starts craving. So now we will actually crave those foods. We'll get, and people will talk about a healthy meal or salad or vegetable or fruit. And you're like, wow, I want that because that's what your body internally is wanting. And we'll start salivating, wanting it. And not that we don't like those other foods, but our body on a day to day basis, it becomes easier to make better choices. And that's really what it's about is it gets you over that little hump where most people fail that you talked about that time of the month for women, for men, like in Mark's case, just at work and the normal culture and people and the foods. And you're able to get over that easier. So thanks so much for sharing that. I think a lot of people are going to relate to what you're talking about, Sarah. So let's real quick go back to Mark and we'll come back to Sarah one more time about your results and then we'll finish up. Mark, you still with us?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. Well, tell us what were your results? I mean, we're talking August 27th to October 29th. What happened?
Uh, wow. The scale I felt was disappointing quite a bit of times, but I think I lost around 11 or 12 pounds overall. I can't remember. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I started off around 248, which is probably a little light on that scale that day, but I ended up around 36 and 238, which was sustainable this time, right? So it wasn't, if I fluctuate, it's just a pound or two a day, where before I could hit 255, 248 off and on. So there's definitely some weight loss there. As far as inches go, I kind of panicked a little bit at the last because my calves were growing and my thighs were growing, but wife Anna kind of calmed me down a little bit, said it's okay, they're getting defined, because I was running and walking every day nonstop or mountain biking. So my legs actually ended up pretty well even, or maybe gained a little bit, but it's all muscle. There's no fat now. As far as the waist, tell you in pant sizes that I was pushing a size 42 jean on the waist. And right now, I think by next, well, when I finished the challenge, I was in a size 38 waist, and I'm probably going to be in a size 36 here in about a week. So the inches lost on the waist were like significant, and just even looking at my before and after picture was like, it was shocking to me, because I would look at myself in the mirror and I'd say, yeah, it looks like I lost a little bit, but I'm not sure. But seeing the two pictures next to each other, I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. It was like, it was a surprise, but I can't remember the exact numbers on the measurements of the waist, but the body change was significant, and it's been sustainable.
That's awesome. How about energy? Is there any improvement there with you?
Oh yeah, my whole routine is so different now. Like normally today's my day off. I got up and I ran a mile and a half and I walked a mile, and I'm still ready to go do more. And on the weekends, I'm mountain biking 10 miles a day up to 12. I finished this shirt was my first 5K I finished during the challenge.
Oh,
And
congratulations.
or after that, and I just signed up for one for our Desert Storm veterans. My brother's a veteran, from Desert Storms, and it's a 43-mile challenge, and I'm going to try and do that in one day here this month. So like increased energy so much. I'm loving doing a lot of things I quit doing, right? Just running and walking more. And I love to hunt. So even carrying a pack now is a lot easier. It doesn't feel so cumbersome. And I'm trying to learn some of my coordination again because my body different. I find myself tripping a lot more and stumbling. This distribution is so different.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, hey, I think that's so inspiring. And the thing is that we know muscle, as far as amount of size, space, weighs more than fat. And when you're exercising, you're putting that muscle on. So it really is the inch difference and the energy that you feel. And that has been the biggest thing consistently as we look at all the results of hundreds of people, the energy and the ability to say, gosh, I feel like doing things I didn't feel like doing before. When I was going home and I'd lay down on the couch, I feel like, getting out and being with kids more, going out and doing things and just to fresh, enjoy the world, walk, whatever it might be. And I feel like it's a new life. And I really appreciate you bringing up that part of it because that really is the big factor. Now, we've had people lose from 5 pounds, 10, 12, like you, Mark, up to 30, 40 pounds. And again, the weight loss will come as your body needs it, but it's about the whole body experience, improving your health, improving your cravings, improving your energy, your mindset. So really, really appreciate you sharing that with us and some of those huge benefits that people can get. Sarah, tell us a little bit about your experience and results from following the program of the Blitz Challenge.
Yeah, so I actually noticed big differences when like Mark, when I saw the before and after picture. I already knew there was some weight loss because I had, obviously we've been keeping up with the measurements, and then my clothes were fitting better. One of the things that I had struggled with so much was feeling swollen. I just, when you put your clothes on and you can't bend over and your pants are digging in, and there's that discomfort with that, and that's gone. I know I still have weight I need to lose, but that comfort's now there. I feel comfortable in my own skin. I'm not suffocating in my own skin. And I notice I'm so much stronger. So I like my son, he's about 45 pounds. I just pick him up, no problem. I don't have to worry about that. Before it was an ache, it was a struggle. Oh, I gotta get this guy, and I don't want to. Husband, you pick him up. I don't want to pick him up. No problem. Throw him like a little feather. And that's from, I read in the instructions for the manual for OHS Blitz Challenge was to do some weightlifting. And so that was one of the things I made sure to take on, where we did some weightlifting. And boy, was that a big plus, because I noticed this in my arms, and that strength has been a huge plus for me. And one of the things that made me laugh so much when it first happened was I was still exerting the amount of strength I needed when I was overweight to get off of the couch. And so one day I just launched myself up off the couch because I lost so much weight. I'd gained so much strength, and it happened so quickly that I didn't even realize it. And I feel rejuvenated. Absolutely. I feel so much energy. I'm easier to wake up in the morning, and my sleep is better. I like you said, I have more time with my kids because I actually have the energy to do it. Overall, it's improved my life significantly.
Oh, well, thank you. So, do you remember any of your numbers as far as total weight loss or anything like that?
Well, at the end of the challenge, I weighed 170, but when I eat, I weigh like 173. So I just put 173, so roughly though 15 pounds. So
Oh,
it just
50.
depends kind of in the day,
Right.
But so right now I'm 170.
That's
But
awesome.
it's awesome. It is really awesome. I lost 4 inches off of my waist, which is great. And my thighs, which are way too big, but they went down about an inch or two as well. So that was something that I really appreciate. But overall, there's been inches lost all over,
That's
that I don't
awesome.
recall right off the top of my head, like Mark.
No, that's great. And people can see the difference between the before and afters of both you,
Yeah.
you, Sarah, and Mark. The key really is trying to express the importance of the overall health. We're talking about just a 2 month period of time, both of you averaging easily over 5 pounds a month, and others out there. Sometimes some people need to lose body fat or weight more than you two. So they lost a ton of weight. right away, and others they needed more internal balance happening, more energy, more focus on not, being able to not being depressed, and your body will do what it needs first. So whatever's most important, when you clean up your lifestyle and you're not forcing a diet that is crazy on the system just to lose weight, your body will do what's most important, and whether it's energy, whether it's body fat, whether it's inches, whatever it might be. And so I appreciate both of you expressing the importance of the overall health benefit, optimal health, if you would. And so to finish up, I really like to encourage everyone to take a look at Sarah and Mark's results. And we'll bring you some other people later on in a different podcast, a guy in here that's lost over 200 pounds and things like that, that you see all these dramatic differences, which is great and very inspiring. But really, for most of us, it's about, hey, I was heading the wrong way. I didn't like the different diets that are out there. This I knew in my gut was right, and it's about the gut and about the cravings, and the overall change is really what's important. You do lose body fat, you do lose weight, but it's energy, it's a mindset, it's a mentality. And I think Sarah and Mark really bring to us that understanding and that motivation. And so I'd like to encourage everyone that if you know that you have lost energy and you shouldn't be in that state, that there's really more life out there. If you've gained a body fat and you know that you should lose some, if you feel like your cravings are out of control and you're like you don't know why, that there is help, and it's nothing crazy. It's things that you should be doing, but a plan laid out so that you can accomplish it. And Sarah and Mark's done a great job with that. Crazy lifestyles, both of them working, family life, everything that most of us have in our lives, but they're able to do it because it's an organized, simple system, and it's focusing on reprogramming your cravings. That's the difference with the Blitz challenge, is it helps you reprogram your cravings. So I encourage everyone to go on the 21-day Blitz challenge, make those lifestyle changes, report your progress so you can inspire others like Sarah and Mark are doing. And Sarah and Mark, I want you to know that there are tens of thousands of people around the world that are going to see this, that are going to be inspired by you. And I hope that helps you also to continue on and to keep going so we can have you on again to see the continued results. Will you guys commit to that? And we'll have you on again in a few months and
Oh,
see the additional results.
Absolutely. Would love that. Thank you.
That's awesome. So let's finish up one more time with both Mark and Sarah. Mark, if you have any advice for people, what would it be if they're wanting to change their life, be able to improve their health? What would you recommend for people to do?
um, it's a lot of habit changing. I'll plug this in too, Doug, if you don't mind. I suffer from high blood pressure since I was 30. And even with medications, it's been up and down. And since I started the challenge with the healthier eating and the weight loss and stuff, it's been totally under control. Um, I also suffer from psoriatic arthritis, so really bad joint issues and things like that. And I do get shots every 2 weeks for that. If I could, I would probably quit taking the shots because the overall health of my joints has improved so much that I feel, psoriatic arthritis will drag you down really quick too and have some really bad off days. I haven't had any of those off days since I started the challenge. So again, being able to run again and those kind of things is part of that healthier lifestyle I lead now. But I would say, first of all, you got to be willing to commit to yourself. You got to be loyal to yourself, and that's to me that's where it starts. And the tools are there with the challenge. The tools are there with the supplements. The site, the Facebook page that we have. I hope you keep that running for us because to me, Robin Hull and Sarah, posting, I could have posted a lot more, and I was a little nervous about it at first, but that peer-to-peer encouragement helped me so much. Also seeing their results, and it's like I got to get after it. I got to do more. I got to do more. And so once you get into that groove of committing to it and doing healthier things every day overall, and the page and the supplements, is just once you commit to doing it, stay committed. And with at least the first 15, 16 days are probably the roughest. They were for me. But when you start seeing your measurements change, and like I said, you're running, 50 yards was hard for me to run, but now all of a sudden I'm running 1.5 to 2 miles a day and doing 5Ks and chasing little ones around and commit to that. You just got to get past that first 15 days.
I appreciate that. That's really what it takes you to reprogram your friendly bacteria so that then now they're helping you and craving. So it is those first, 2 weeks and that once you get past that, it is a lot better. So I appreciate you bringing that up. Thanks so much. You inspire so many. And I really appreciate you bringing up the health conditions and that improvement because really what you can do for your health is much more than what any doctor can prescribe. And you realize that and took charge of your health. So thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, Sarah.
I would help. I would hope that people could believe in themselves and know
Oh,
that they're capable of doing anything that they want to do. So if that's something that they really want and that they want to be healthy, they want to be happy, that it's not the time to be sorry for yourself. You have to get up and do something about it. And it's worth the investment. Every human being is worth the investment to be healthy and to have longevity. And so they need to take care of themselves, and it's something they will never regret.
wow. Well, thank you. That's so true. Don't be a victim. I mean, that's what I got from your thing. Just take it on and be in charge. And you're right. And the thing about the program too is it's just about taking care of your body with the right nutrients and with the right order of things. It's helping you to stay off certain foods you shouldn't. And it's really not this extravagant program. It's something that's affordable, it's simple, and I really appreciate you bringing that because a lot of people say, well, it's corny to say you can do what you want if you put your mind to it and stuff. No, it is true. And anyone like that's gone through something recently, like Sarah has, um, like Mark has, they realize deep inside, gosh, one day I made a decision and I could have just as easily not made the decision to do the Fall Health Bliss Challenge or the 21-day Bliss Challenge. And they made it. And so that component is so important. And I love closing on this is the ability for you to accomplish anything is possible, like Sarah just said, and as Mark just showed with his health results and those benefits. You just have to make that commitment, believe in yourself, and get past those first few weeks of the habit changes, and life changes forever. I mean, gosh, how much is that worth? Like Sarah just mentioned, you can accomplish anything. It just one bite at a time, follow each part of the program and keep chewing. Make it through those first few weeks. Thanks so much, Mark. Thanks so much, Sarah. You inspire me. You inspire so many. And we'll look forward to your results as you continue on and would love to have you back. Thanks again.
Thank you for having us, Doug.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Take
So
care.
everyone out there, if you have more interest, go to optimalhealthsystems.com, ask about the 21-day Bliss Challenge, call and talk to them, and they'll give you information, some more people that were on the program, the results. It's just about making a change in the world today. And if we all take part of taking responsibility for ourselves and our own health, we'll make changes not just in ourselves, but in the world. And it really needs us right now. So thanks again. Look forward to another episode next week of Holistic Professional Success. Thanks, guys.